So, I just watched a new Superman movie by James Gunn in cinemas, and there was one scene in particular in that movie which has gripped me so much that I'm sat here making a video about it now. I won't spoil anything, so go and watch the movie if you haven't. It's in cinemas, and if you're watching this later on in life, hopefully you've seen the movie. But there's this one great scene in particular that I want to talk about in this video. That's why I'm making this entire video about a certain scene in which Clark Kent, who obviously you know is Superman, gets open and vulnerable to his dad about what it means to be human, what it means to be who you are and who defines us exactly. So, without going into spoilers too much, there's this moment in the movie, I'd say around halfway, where Clark Kent is speaking to his dad, wrestling with the kind of pressures we all deal with on a day-to-day, the kind that comes from parents, culture, and even ourselves. The conversation reminded me how easily we let other people's plans and expectations become our own when we never voluntarily chose them. It reminded me of something important, that we choose the life we're in, and it isn't defined by the boxes we are put in by other people. It's defined by the choices we make every single day. The small decisions, the consistent actions, that's what really defines you. Those are the things that build the real you. I want you to just think about how many boxes you've been placed in. It might be your degree, your relationship, your friends. These are boxes you didn't even realize you stepped into, or just expectations that were placed on you as a kid. Growing up, I kind of felt like there was a path laid out for me, whether it be by my parents or by my school and teachers. And I think all of us are kind of ushered into a direction that feels safe. So, here's the real truth, and it's that your actions are what makes your identity. It's not a label that's handed to you and you stick on your shirt right here. It's the things you do every single day. When I was younger, I thought that who I was depended on meeting expectations and achieving things like getting good grades in school, things that made other people proud. Eventually, I realized that none of it was important as long as it didn't make you authentically feel proud of yourself, and it's something that you wanted to achieve. Think about people you admire, athletes, artists, or even superheroes in this case. You never remember their family history or expectations that were put on them. You don't remember them for their backgrounds or their family or their history. You remember them for the action they chose to do day to day, which made them the great people they are now. The real you is defined by the things you do daily, how you speak, how you act with others, and how you act when nobody is watching. What you commit to and what you walk away from, that's what really matters, and that's what's going to define you in the long run. If you're sat there wondering who you really are, don't look at the labels that are put on you or what people think you should be, but look at the actions you do day to day. And speaking of choices, let's talk about the ultimate definition of freedom. We often think freedom is breaking away from something, when true freedom is running towards something that you want to do every single day. For years, I confused freedom with rebellion or going against what my parents are saying. You think that by pushing against expectations, you're getting the freedom you want, but without knowing what you truly want, you're not getting any freedom. You will still just end up feeling lost. Real freedom kicked in for me when I asked myself, what do I truly want? And what can I be truly great at? Since then, life has felt less like wandering around and been more meaningful. True freedom, it's the courage to choose a path that you want to walk on and not just the one that's been laid out for you. The path that feels uniquely yours, the one that you sat down and decided. And then, once you choose your path, committing to be so good at it that others can have no expectations on you because you will excel past them. Those external expectations don't even matter to you anymore. When you start living like that, you're not just free, but you're unstoppable. I'm back inside because it was way too cold outside. So, after listening to all of that, if you're sat there thinking, okay, so what do I actually do to be free? How can I start defining myself? And what are the steps to, find this true meaning to your life? Here are just some of the steps that I did. So, here's a little demonstration of the 3-step formula you can take to hopefully define yourself, define the kind of direction you want to move in. So, I want you to just grab a piece of paper or open your notes app and try this simple exercise, which genuinely changed things for me. Step 1, list out all the expectations that currently influence your decisions. Think about family, friends, school, social pressures, whatever feels heavy. As you can see in my terrible drawing here. Step 2, circle ones that actually align with who you are and the direction that you want to move in, and cross out the rest. You'll be left with, hopefully, just yourself. Step 3, choose just one small action you can take today, something that clearly moves you toward the life you genuinely want, instead of the life someone else has planned for you. Doing this doesn't mean that you'll have everything figured out overnight, but it does mean that you're finally holding the pen. And these small steps will lead you eventually to your big goal. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed my little demonstration and voiceover. It's something new I'm trying, so excuse me if it's pretty bad, and I know the drawings weren't great. Superman is reminding us about how we define ourselves, and we can take practical steps today to make sure that we're living a life that is aligned with the one that we want to live for the next 10, 20, 30, even longer years. So, here's the big idea simplified so you can carry something with you from this video. 1. The boxes people put you in aren't locked and you can step out anytime you choose to. 2. Labels and expectations don't define who you are, it's your actions and the choices you make day to day. And finally, real freedom is actively choosing the life that you're excited to live and not the one that you're boxed into. These aren't just motivational ideas, they're hopefully tools that you can take this message and apply it into your own life. I want you all to be living a life that's aligned with what you really want and not living someone else's life. The point of this video was to just make you aware of that and to put the control back into your hand and ensure that you all are doing stuff that you want to do, not stuff that's been given to you. Just remember that your story isn't written by someone else. At the end of the day, you are the author, you're the one holding the pen, and it's time that you write your own story and stop letting others write it for you. And speaking of choices, here's one I want you to make right now. So, in the comments below, I want you to write down one expectation you're done living with. Starting from today, I want you to go write it down so it's not just a comment for my video, and that helps with the algorithm, but also a symbol and a statement to yourself. That from this day on, you're conscious of the choices that you make daily. But yeah, if this video resonated with you, I encourage you to subscribe so that you can get more amazing insights like this into your subscription page every week, hopefully. And yeah, finally, I'd just encourage you all to go watch Superman. It's great. And if you have watched it, also let me know in the comments what you thought about it. And yeah, I'll see you next time.